Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing great. In today's video, I'm gonna explain the options to relocate or to live permanently in New Zealand based on the study and post-study visas. So it's okay if you are still studying or if you are unable to find job opportunities in New Zealand. So an easy way to relocate to New Zealand is study here as a full-time student, and after the study you will be able to get post study work visa, and based on it later on you can go for residence visas. So the idea is to start with the student visa and then go for work and residence class visas like I mentioned earlier. So once you complete your studies, then if you are eligible, which means if you studied the right course at the right university or right institute, you can apply for the post-study work visa, which is usually valid for 3 years. However, it depends from case to case basis, and it depends upon the study which you did, and it depends upon the degree which you had. And later on, you can go for the residence class visas. And the good thing is, while holding the post-study work visa, if you found a job with an accredited employer, you can move to the accredited employer visa, and then you can start your residence journey earlier. If you have a family like kids, wife or partner, and you want to relocate to New Zealand on student visa, you don't need to worry about them. You can include them also, and you can apply for their visas also under your student visa or your sponsorship, or they can relocate with you basically. And if your partner is adult, they will get the working rights also in the New Zealand to work full time. You must be wondering why you should consider New Zealand to relocate or to live permanently. So a couple of points which I will share. The first one, and which is the strongest one: New Zealand is not a crowded country, unlike some other countries where population is very high and their cities are overcrowded, universities are overcrowded. So New Zealand has a very strong point here. You will not find it crowded anywhere. The second one is it's very beautiful and close to the nature. So it's like 15-20 minutes drive from the city. Okay, and you will start finding yourself in an amazing and wonderful place which is close to the nature, sea, beach, mountains, green and lush places. So which completely change the scenery. And some people, not some people, most of the people like to stay close to the nature. The third one is New Zealand has great work-life balance. So it's famous for great work-life balance. It's not like some other countries where you are working 12 hours or 14 hours and you are getting paid for 8 hours, or the salary is very low and at the end of the week you are exhausted. You will not find these kind of things in the New Zealand. The immigration process for New Zealand is very simple, and if you are on budget, you can simply study the Immigration New Zealand website and you can apply for the visas by yourself. You don't need to pay hefty amounts to the immigration consultants and advisors. So if you are keen, you just need to spend a couple of hours to study the Immigration New Zealand website, choose the right visa, and then you can apply for it. Unlike some other countries, education in New Zealand for international student is some kind of affordable. It's not expensive as compared to some other countries. And based on the uh, education, or based on the study, once you finish your studies, you will have options to work and live permanently in New Zealand. It's not like they will just get your money, give you a degree, and then throw you out of the country. No, this is not like that. If you have studied the right program from a recognized university, which I will explain later on in this video, uh, how you can secure the student visa and how you can apply, or what is the process of the student visa and the post-study work visa. So a note before I continue further and explain the requirements and process for the student visa and post-study work visa. This video is not an immigration advice. It's just for the general knowledge of the people who are looking to relocate to New Zealand. Because as per New Zealand's law, only a licensed immigration advisor can legally give you immigration advice. So if you are looking for immigration advice or immigration help, you should always seek for a licensed immigration advisor. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, this video is about relocate through studies in New Zealand, or use the study option to relocate to New Zealand. So the visa which I'm referring to for the study is fee paying student visa. Under this visa, definitely you will get a visa to study full time and work part time, and you have the options to include your family and partner while you study. And the good thing about New Zealand is your partner, if they are adult, they will also get working rights. And as a student, depending upon the program you selected, you will also get working rights to work in New Zealand. Then I'll also explain the post-study work visa, the requirements and the process for the post-study work visa and what exactly it is. Again, you can include your family or partner in the post-study work visa. So let's talk about the fee-paying student visa, which is basically a study visa. So what are the requirements? What is the process? Let's go step by step. So the first requirement is you need to have a valid passport. You should have a proper identity document. The second one is you need to secure an admission in an eligible university or college or institution under an eligible course. So most of the universities or colleges who offer programs for international students, they are qualified, or you can say they are recognized by the Immigration New Zealand. So it's not like you can choose any program or any university. You have to be a little careful in this area. But usually most of the universities and colleges, like I mentioned earlier, who are offering programs to the international student, they are recognized by the Immigration New Zealand. You need to prove you have money to pay the fees and to live comfortably as a student in the New Zealand. A tip here, so as a student you need around 15,000 New Zealand dollars for 1 year to bear all your basic expenses in the New Zealand, anywhere in any city. This is just a rough idea. If you are a kind of person who save a lot, so definitely you need less than this. So in terms of the US dollar, I think this amount would be somewhere like 8-9,000. It will be less than 10,000 US dollars for the whole year. You need to have a health insurance before you apply for the fee-paying student visa. So once you secure the admission, you will get a letter from the university. Then you'll start working on the application, and these are the basically documents or the requirements for the fee-paying student visa application. So for the health insurance, you don't need to worry about it. There are many health insurance companies in the New Zealand. You can Google it and find it, and most of the universities they help you in finding the affordable health insurance. Once you contact their advisor or their international student help team, they basically give you some suggestions, and it's up to you if you want to follow them or if you want to stick with the Google search. Just a note about the health insurance. So if you are a PhD student, then you don't need to have a health insurance, because you will be eligible for the public health. So you don't need to worry about the health insurance, or you don't need to pay for the health insurance. The next one is health requirements. So you should be in good health. You should not have any disease, or you should not have any health concerns like TB or some other serious concerns. So sometimes when you apply for the student visa or fee paying student visa, Immigration New Zealand can ask you to go for medical, which includes a chest x-ray and a detailed medical certificate, but you don't have to do it before you apply the application. Many people, I have noticed many people, they just go for the medical before they apply, and even depending upon their personal circumstances or depending upon their application, the medical was not required. So you can wait. I mean, if it's required during the application, when you apply it, the Immigration New Zealand will simply send you an email or a letter to go for the medical. So this is a note from the immigration's website. So when Immigration New Zealand process your application, they will let you know if you need a chest x-ray or a medical examination. The next requirement is you need to prove you have the English language skills. So you can go for IELTS or TOEFL or any other recognized English language test. So about the score, it depends upon the program you choose. So for example, some graduate diplomas or postgraduate diplomas or master's degrees, they require IELTS 6.5 academic, some require only 6. So usually it's either 6 or higher than 6. I never found any program which is like graduation or graduate diploma or master's or master's diploma. I never found any program which requires less than 6.0 in the IELTS. Then you need to fill the visa application form. Definitely it could be online or paper form. Most of people, 99.9% people, I think, go for the online application because it's easy. You have to prove your intentions are genuine and you intend to study in the New Zealand. So how you can prove it? After securing the admission, you need to attach the proof for the fees which you have paid to the university. You need to provide a proof of the funds, and you need to provide the transcripts or the copies of the your previous education records. So there should not be a big gap between the previous education and the current degree which you are applying for. In some cases you need to have a good character, and you need to get a police clearance from the countries where you lived in the last 5 years. Tuition fee payment, like I mentioned earlier, you have to share an evidence about the fees which you have paid to the university in order to secure the admission. Then visa processing fee, you have to pay the visa processing fee also. And if you want to work while you study, so you need to get a letter or a document from the university or from the college about the public holidays and when it's the recommended time for you to work. So depending upon the program, you may be allowed to work part-time for up to 20 hours a week or full-time during the scheduled holidays like Christmas and New Year holiday period. And you just need to keep in mind, if you will work while you study, that means you are earning an income in New Zealand, and you might need to pay for your taxes. So you must get an IRD number, which is like a tax number, so you can pay your taxes. So usually what happens in New Zealand, when you work for the employers, they pay your taxes, or they deduct the tax from your income and pay it on your behalf. So you must study for full time and attend your course at the provider education at the approved education provider, unless you have reasonable excuse for the absences. So let's say uh, you were granted a visa and you have started the study. So this is something which you should do until you finish your studies. And it's not like you registered for a course and you did not attend the classes, you failed continuously. So in those cases things can get worse, and your visa can be revoked, or Immigration New Zealand will not be happy. So how Immigration New Zealand will find out this? So they do sometimes random checks at airports, or I think uh, whenever you travel, the immigration desk, they look after your history, and even sometimes they can also validate, they can visit the university or college and interview or validate the students information. Visa expiry, this is just a note like you should have intentions to leave the New Zealand once your visa expire, or you should have a proper plan in your mind. You must get a new visa before your current visa expires. Now let's talk about the process and cost for the fee paying student visa. So the process is very simple, like I mentioned earlier. uh, about the time frame, most of the application, 80% of the applications get their decision within 3 weeks of the application. In terms of the cost, it varies from country to country. So for example, for India, online application cost is only 850 New Zealand dollars. So a note, be careful while choosing the course and institute. So courses having level 7 or above, they offer the options to study further, or to get the post study work visa in the New Zealand. So I'll share another video about the courses which are eligible for post study work visa, and the most or the cheapest courses which you can go for, and how much it will cost you to have a graduation, or to have a graduation diploma, or to have a master's degree or master's diploma. I'll post another video about it later. So more information about this visa is available on the Immigration New Zealand's website. This is the link, you can explore it by yourself. But the information which I have shared, the source of that information is also basically the Immigration New Zealand's website. So let's say you have decided to go for fee paying student visa, and you have a wife, you have kids, or you have family. So what happens in their scenario? So once you apply for the fee paying student visa, you can apply for partner also. You can apply for partner of the student work visa also. It allows your partner to work in New Zealand if you are studying an eligible level 7 or level 8 qualification, or even level 9 or 10 qualification. And please keep in mind, your partners may get full working rights for any employer. So it depends upon case to case basis, and no job offer is required for your wife or for your partner. And you can include the dependent child, but your partner cannot include the dependent child in their visa application. Sorry, even you cannot include the dependent child. A separate application is required for the dependent childs, and in most cases, like for school going kids, they will get the student visa. Now that was all about the fee paying student visa. Now let's talk about the post study work visa, which is something you need once you finish your studies in New Zealand. Then this is one of the option to live in New Zealand, find job, and start your residence journey. Or if you are already in New Zealand and you are about to complete your studies, then the next step is post study work visa. So the requirement for the post study work visa are simple. The first one is you need to have a valid passport. The second one is health requirement. Again, when Immigration New Zealand will process your application, they will let you know if you need to have a chest x-ray or a medical examination. In most cases, for the post-study work visa, Immigration New Zealand request you to go for a medical. But if you are on budget, then it's better to wait until Immigration New Zealand asks you about it. You need to have a police clearance from every country where you lived in the last 5 or 10 years. It depends uh, from visa to visa. So when you apply, just go through the Immigration New Zealand website to find out the most accurate information. You need to hold a New Zealand qualification, so you must provide a copy of your qualification or a letter of or academic transcript from your tertiary education provider confirming you have completed your qualification. So the letter or transcript, I think, is required only for tertiary qualifications. So if you have completed a degree level 7 or above qualification, so you must have studied it full time for at least 30 weeks in the New Zealand. So even during the full time, like I mentioned earlier, you had options to work during the Christmas break or during the public holidays period. So if you have completed a non-degree level qualification, which is level 7 or below, then it must be on the list of the qualifications which are eligible for the post-study work visa. So this is the reason I was suggesting to go for level 7 or level 8 or higher qualifications for the study visa, because those qualifications will give you the flexibility for the post-study work visa, and it's easy to go for post-study work visa if you have those qualifications. And if you have qualification which is lower than level 7 and it's not a degree, then on top of the eligible qualifications, you can only take a job which is relevant to your studies, and it will be forced or specified on your visa. Let's say if you have a qualification or a diploma in dairy farming or cattle farming, something like that, then you should work only the jobs which are relevant to that particular field. So you must apply for a visa no later than 3 months after your student visa expires. So if you have intentions to work in New Zealand, to live permanently in New Zealand, and to go for post-study work visa, you have maximum 3 months time frame once your student visa expire. So usually what people do, they start working on the application while they are in the last month or last semester, or they are about to complete their studies. So once their study complete, they have all the documentation ready, application ready, they just launch the application for the post-study work visa. You should have sufficient funds. Now you must be wondering why you need to have funds for the post-study work visa. You don't need to pay any fee. So these funds are basically to prove you can survive or you can live in New Zealand for about 3 months, or for some months until you find a job. So you need to just provide an evidence you have at least 5,000 New Zealand dollars, which is like 3,000 or 3,500 US dollars. The evidence can include bank statement, even credit card statements, bank drafts, or any evidence which specify you have this kind of money in your hand. You can use it, and this applies to all the post-study work visa applications which are even for 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years. So there are multiple post-study work visas, but the application is one. It's up to the immigration. When they review your application, then they decide the duration of the visa. So usually if you hold level 7 or above degree or a qualification which is a level 7 or above, then you will get, there is a chance you will get 3 years post-study work visa. Visa fee, you have to pay the visa fee. For the Indian passport holders who are in Auckland, it's New Zealand dollar $1,670 only. For the online application, you can check the fee on the Immigration New Zealand's website. The time frame for these applications for the post-study work visa, the processing time is 80% of applications get their decision within 3 weeks. So if something is required, if Immigration New Zealand needs some information from you, or if they need some more documentation, they can contact you. So you must be wondering, if you are in New Zealand and your temporary visa, like your student visa, is about to expire, and you have not got post-study work visa, so what will happen? Shall you leave the New Zealand? No, the best option is you can go for an interim visa, and the interim visa will allow you to live in New Zealand, to stay in New Zealand lawfully until Immigration New Zealand decides upon your application. So the more information about post-study work visa is available on the Immigration New Zealand's website. Below is the link to access the Immigration New Zealand's website. Now you must be wondering what happens with your kids or partner or family when you go for the post-study work visa. They can also apply for the dependent or partner visas. So definitely your partner will go for partner work visa, and they will get full-time working rights to work for any employer. And your dependent children, they can study fees free as domestic students. So that's like a kind of relief in the post-study work visa. You don't have to pay fees for your kids once you get the post-study work visa and your kids get the dependent child visa. And once again, it depends upon the Immigration New Zealand, because each application can have different scenarios or different cases. So it's not like all the applications or all the children's will get the fees-free studies in the New Zealand, or your partner will get the full-time working rights. So another tip, once you get your post-study work visa, so if you found a job with an accredited employer, you can explore the accredited employer work visa, and you can move to that visa, and later on that visa will help you in your residence journey. So that's something which is you can consider once you start working, or once you have the post-study work visa. You can find the more information about the post-study work visa, or the visa options for your partners or family on the Immigration New Zealand's website. This is the link to access the website. So you might have a question, what happens when you get the post-study work visa? So you need to start searching about the job, and like I mentioned earlier, if you get a job with an accredited employer, you can start your residence journey through skilled migrant resident category. I will share some videos about the skilled migrant resident category later on. And it's okay if you are unable to find a job with an accredited employer. Still, as per your visa, you can work and live in New Zealand for 3 years, okay, which is not a small time. Okay, and within those 3 years, definitely you will struggle, and you will be able to find a job with the accredited employer, because for skilled migrant category visa, you must have a job with an accredited employer. And I have noticed many companies, they are now accredited with the Immigration New Zealand. So even though if your employer is not accredited and you have good relation with your employer, you can have a chat with them, explain it to them, and they will see if they are able to help you through the accreditation process. The accreditation process is not a expensive or difficult thing, so it's just a matter of few weeks and fulfilling the Immigration New Zealand's requirement. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and stay tuned for more videos like I mentioned earlier. I will post some more videos about the qualifications or about the degrees or about the programs available for the international students, and I will try to focus on the affordable and cheap programs, especially which are level 7 or level 8, or which have a level higher than level 7. And once again, this video is not an immigration advice. It's just a guidance, or it's just a general knowledge for the people who are looking to relocate to New Zealand, for the people who are seeking some knowledge about the options to live and relocate to New Zealand. If you need an immigration advice, you must contact a licensed immigration advisor. Only a licensed immigration advisor can legally give you immigration advice. Once again, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe and share this video, and stay tuned for more videos about relocation to the New Zealand through easy ways. And just a note, Immigration New Zealand's website is shown on your screen, and I will share all the links on the description of this video. Thank you very much.